Today's video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and right now you can get this sweet Scoop Soldier sticker when you order over at cardkingdom.com. Just mention in your order notes that you want a Scoop Soldier sticker when you go to checkout. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic, and we have a sweet Pioneer deck to play today. This is a deck that I actually think is oddly good, and it's super fun. That is Dubious Challenge for Pioneer, smashing massive things into play, hopefully on turn 3, with the help of Dubious Challenge. Crossing our fingers that the Magic Gods cooperate. There's risk involved, but when it works out, good lord, is this deck actually surprisingly powerful. So anyway, let's talk about the deck, jump right into the gameplay, see how it works. So our deck, as the name suggests, is built around Dubious Challenge. Dubious Challenge, really weird card. Basically, for 4 mana, you get to dig through your top 10 cards, grab up to 2 creatures, then your opponent gets to choose one, they get that creature, you get the leftover creature, the rest of the cards go on the bottom of the library, whatever. So the trick to Dubious Challenge is we need to build our deck in a way that no matter what our opponent chooses, we're going to end up with the best creature. And maybe if we get lucky, we even end up with both creatures. So that is the trick of Dubious Challenge. We can't just play a bunch of Emeralds and Ulamogs or whatever, because if we do that and we cast Dubious Challenge, our opponent's going to end up with the better of them, and then they get to untap first, they get to attack and kill us. So how do we actually break Dubious Challenge? We kind of have this 3-step process. Step 1 is ramp into Dubious Challenge. We want to try to cast Dubious Challenge on turn 3. That's goal 1 of the deck. So for this, we have Elvish Mystic, Land of Elves, Paradise Druid. These just get us to Dubious Challenge 1 turn earlier. And then once we resolve Dubious Challenge, we're trying to hit 2 different groups of cards. We have Enablers and we have Finishers. So the Enablers are the cards that make it so no matter what our opponent chooses, we're going to end up with the most benefit, and mostly all the benefit from the Dubious Challenge. So first off, we need to hit one of Trostani Discordant or Charming Prince. So Trostani, at the beginning of the end step, gives everyone back their stuff, essentially. So let's say we hit Trostani, we hit another creature, our opponent takes Trostani. At the end of our opponent's turn, we're going to get back the Trostani. If our opponent takes the other creature, on the end of our turn, Trostani is going to yoink back the other creature. Charming Prince, even more straightforward. When it comes into play, we can exile a creature we own, which is important, not control, but own, and then we get to return to the battlefield under our control to begin the next end step. So this means we hit a big thing, we hit a Charming Prince. If our opponent takes Charming Prince, that's fine, we get the big thing. If our opponent takes the big thing, we get Charming Prince. It exiles the big thing, we get the big thing at the end of our turn. So when we Dubious Challenge, we really need to hit one of these cards. Then we're also hoping to hit a big finisher. So our best big finishers are Worldspine Wurm, Zetalpa Primal Dawn. These are just the biggest, baddest threats in the Pioneer format. Worldspine Wurm, 15/15 trample. That coming down on turn 3 is going to beat most decks in the format. If our opponent can kill it, we get a bunch of 5/5 trampling worms. Zetalpa just has a million keywords, including indestructible, so it dodges both removal. And then it's double striking, it's flying, it wins in a couple of attacks. So we want to hit one of these along with one of our enablers. We also have a couple of backups. Void Winnower, also massive, can just randomly hose some decks by not letting them cast even spells. Dragonlord Demoka, probably our worst hit with Dubious Challenge, but it does have the upside that we can just ramp into it. It's only 6 mana, so if we play our mana dorks, we can just cast this, and then it gives us protection from counter spells primarily, so we can resolve our Dubious Challenge against blue-white control or whatever. Also, having lifelink makes it really good against aggro. Dragonlord Demoka, basically good against really aggressive decks because it's huge in lifelinking, good against control decks because it stops us from getting hosed by counter spells. The only place it's really bad is against removal heavy mid-range decks, but that's basically the entire plan of the deck. Ramp into Dubious Challenge, cast it, hopefully hit either Trostani Charming Prince, one of those, along with one of our finishers, and just have something massive, game-ending on the battlefield on turn 3. Otherwise, see the Unwritten, kind of our backup Dubious Challenge. We just go 8 cards deep to put a creature into play, and if we have a creature with power 4 or greater, which normally means we've already Dubious Challenge, then we get to grab 2 creatures, but this is another way we can end up with a Worldspine Wurm for just 6 mana, and with all of our mana dorks, we can cast See the Unwritten pretty early as well, turn 4-ish with a really good draw, and that still gets us a massive threat to close out the game. Mana base, bunch of budget dual lands, a bunch of basic lands. Main goal, untap mana on turn 1 and turn 2, green mana, so we can cast our mana dorks and ramp into Dubious Challenge. Sideboard-wise, this is where we get our removal. Seal away Blessed Alliance for aggro decks, Gideon's Intervention for combo and also kind of removal against some threats, Soul Guide Lantern for graveyard decks, Rex Age to deal with artifacts and enchantments, and that is Dubious Challenge for Pioneer. That's our budget magic deck for this week. Let's jump into the games, see how this plan actually works. How often can we actually get a Worldspine Wurm on turn 3? because I think if we could do that, we should beat pretty much everyone in the format. There is not many decks that is going to beat a turn 3 Worldspine Wurm, a turn 3 Zatalpa. How consistently can we do it with See the Enter and a Dubious challenge? Let's find out. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and I'll be back in a bit with the wrap-up. All right, budget magic time. We are mulliganing with Dubious challenge. Oh my god. Okay. Well, we'll keep this. Like, we have 12 ramp cards, and we have 0 of them in hand, which is awkward. We can put a big thing to the... all right. I mean, Worldspine to the bottom. Hopefully we draw into some ramp, or even just lands. I mean, we do have our Dubious challenges, so if we get to them, and they are kind... Oh, control. Oh, that means Dubious challenge is getting countered. Well, we want to get to Dragonlord Demoka, I guess, against control. Dragonlord Demoka is very good against control. Opponent, untap land. Passes. Well, okay. All right. That's a ram card. So this means if we just draw a land, we get to spin the wheel on Dubious challenge next turn. Come on, untap land. And if it's a fortified village, I'm going to cry. Opponent gets it. It's us. 19. Come on, deck. Untap land. All right. Well, it's a tap land. That is a drawback of being a budget deck. We will put Llanowar Elves to the bottom. So the downside of this is it's going to give our opponent the opportunity to Spell Queller our Dubious challenge. Yeah, we're not going to attack into a Spectral Sailor, potentially. Pass the turn. Oh, no. That tap land was so not good for us. Opponent. Oh, deck. We have one fully tap land and one sort of tap land. Well, all right. Let's Dubious challenge into the Spell Queller. Oh, Temple of Plenty. Maybe they don't have it. They could. Oh, huh. Well, all right. We whiffed on... Okay, that wasn't great. I will say that was not ideal. We'll each get a mana dork. Wow, okay. Or we'll get both mana dorks. Thank you, opponent. You were a kind chap. I guess that is one of the upsides of playing Dubious challenge is no one knows how it works, so sometimes you just get both things. Now I wish we had taken the Worldspine Wurm. If we had known our opponent was just going to hook us up with both. Nibblegast Herald. Going to tap a dork. Well, this is a clock. We can play Dragonlord Demoka. The downside is... our opponent's probably going to be able to tap it, although they won't be able to cast stuff during our turn. Breeding Pool. Untapped. Yeah, it's in. Yeah, that was a disappointing Dubious challenge. It does mean that our... Alright, opponent hits us. Yeah. Well, it's Dramoka time. I think we Dramoka first, and then Dubious challenge next turn? Pretty clearly a Collected Company is incoming. Well, yeah, let's... Dragonlord Demoka. Yeah, this Nibblegast is pretty obnoxious, just because it can tap down our Dragonlord. Ooh, boy. All right, opponent is punting like crazy, I think. Dragonlord Demoka means our opponent cannot Collected Company. Again, the upside of playing weird cards. People just don't know how to play with them or around them. Well, yeah, we've got a lot of weird extra val... No. Oh, you're going to draw a card? That's fine. Okay, opponent draws, sure. Down to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See the Unwritten would be great. We're almost just casting Void Winnower. Opponent. There's the Collected Company that they did not cast last turn. Alright. Nibblegast for days. Yeah, we might just be losing to janky Spirit Beats. We do get to start gaining back some life with Dramoka, but still. Alright. Well, we'll see. Opponent gonna hit us for 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure. Well, let's spin the wheel again. Dubious challenge. Hopefully it's good this time. Dubious challenge. Ooh. Alright. We will take Trostani and Zatalpa. So our opponent should take Trostani. They'll get the 2 tokens, but we'll end up with Trostani and... Wow. Opponent has not figured this out yet, have they? Alright. Well, go to combat. Gain back 6. Paradise Druid. Pass the turn. Well, now I kind of like the shape we're in. Like, I'm not sure how our opponent survives this unless they can just straight up kill us this turn. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, maybe they can. Yeah, tapping our stuff. If they have another Lord, I guess we just die. Collected Comp. No lords. No lords. Okay. Yep. Well, alright. Opponent hit all the lords, which means we're dead, right? 4, 8, 12, 13, 14. Yep. Well, that is unfortunate. Unfortunate. Well, our deck was doing what we wanted it to do. Our opponent just happened to hit a lot of lords and a lot of collected companies, unfortunately. Alright, opponent's playing spirits. I guess we just we'll bring in Sealaways. We'll trim a See the Unwritten. A couple of Paradise Druids. And, yeah, let's just go 3 Sealaways. Run it like that. Ay, 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 ay. That was annoying, I will say. Nibblegas really saved our opponent. Most decks, I think, would be more or less drawing dead to what we're doing, but our opponent Nibblegasting was kind of a problem. I guess we keep this. This isn't great, but we can Charming Prince to scry. We have a removal spell, and Dragonlord Ramoka is really good. Assuming our opponent doesn't have Nibblegas for days. Like, Nibblegast is the whole reason that went wrong. Like, if our opponent did not have the ability to just tap down our defenses, we're almost guaranteed to win that game. There's no way they're beating a Dramoka and a Zatalpa with their janky random 1/1 flyers. Like, that's just not going to happen. But Nibblegast cleared the way and allowed our opponent to have no understanding of Dubious challenge and still win. Maybe that's a vote of confidence against our deck, that our opponent just did not once Dubious challenge correctly and still won. Alright, Fortified Village, new. Pass the turn. Mausoleum Wanderer for our e-boot it. Now, Fortified Village, run out a Charming Prince on Scry mode. Void Winnower bottom. And I guess we'll keep the plains. Pass the turn. Temple Garden for our opponent. Tapped. And Mausoleum Wanderer part 17. Sure. Gets in. Hits us. Down 18. Well, play the land. Charming Prince. Scry. Alright, put on top, put on top. We're doing this the slow, janky way. So next turn we can seal away something. Then the following turn we can play Tristani, and I guess we play like a weird green-white beatdown deck at the moment. Opponent. Deputy of Detention. Well, that's annoying, I will say. Going to get both of our Charming Princes. Boo. Yeah. Opponent gets in for 2. Hits us. Yeah. I'll play a Forest past the turn. Oh, God. Draw step stops at opponent. There's no need. There's no need. Why in the world could you possibly need to stop on my draw step, opponent? You're tapped out. You got nothing going on. We get it. We get it. We get it. Pass the turn. Well, we're hoping our opponent attacks with Deputy of Detention and does not have Spell Queller. That's kind of hoping for a lot. But who knows? Maybe. Perhaps. Opponent. Combat. Gets in. Hits us. Well, we will seal away. Get rid of Deputy of Detention. Gain 3 life. Scry. Alright, there's Nibbles. Nibblegast Herald is a card we were hoping to not run into. Scry 2. Charming Prince. Yeah, let's go bottom. Trostani definitely top. Gain some life. Untap. Play the land. Well, let's see how good this Trostani is. Draw, step, stop. Still set. Play the land, run out Trostani, grow the dorks, go to combat, attack you. If there's a downside to spirits, it's that they are pretty small. So even our random 1/1 tokens are actually like threats that they have a hard time dealing with. And we're at 16, and our token's lifelink. We might just be in okay shape here. Opponent land. That said, our opponent, with that land, probably has Collected Company, and then things can go very poorly very quickly. Opponent. Empyrean Eagle to grow the dorks. Yep. That speeds up the clock. And taps Tristani. And Mausoleum Wanderer again. Oh, Lord. Alright, well, literally, oh, Lord. We might be dead now. Opponent. Gets in. Hits us for a bunch. Yeah, that is 11. Well, draw, step, stop. Still set. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Opponent blocks. And blocks. Yeah, you die if you do that, opponent. Okay, that's fine. We'll take it. I don't know if that was a block. Boy, alright. I don't know if that was a block our opponent was planning on making. Oh, Lord. Alright, well, I mean, I guess we'll take the wins however we can get them. Oh, this has been a weird match. Let's go down one Worldspine. I think we want at least 8 big things to hit, and then at least 8, well, it's kind of exactly 8 ways to get those big things with Dubious Challenge. This does not feel like a keep. We will mulligan the All-Lander. Alright, we'll keep this. We will put, I guess, Charming Prince to the bottom, and Mana Dork our way into a Dromoka, hopefully. Breeding Pool of our opponent tapped. Well, we will Mana Dork like crazy. We might be able to just cast a Dromoka on turn 3. I mean, that seems decent. We can Elvish Mystic, then Mystic Paradise Druid, then Dromoka. And then hope we draw into Dubious Challenge, or, yeah, mostly Dubious Challenge. See the Unwritten actually would be insane once Dromoka's down. Even better, probably. Even better, definitely, I think, than Dubious Challenge. Elvish Mystic, go. Deputy of Detention on Elvish Mystics feels bad, if that's a thing that exists. Well, opponent loves this draw step stop. I've never seen anyone more committed to stopping on draw steps than our opponent. Land, sort of. Mana Dork, boat it. Oh, come on. No Deputy of Detention. If Deputy of Detention hits our Elvish Mystics, it really slows us down. Like, a lot. Deputy of Detention on our Elvish Mystics. Alright, Dubious Challenge off the top. No, sir. Alright, land go. That's unfortunate. We were doing a good job of ramping until our opponent managed to get both of our Mana Dorks. What a awkward matchup. Opponent. Glacial Fortress. Selfless Spirit. Please attack. Please attack. Did our opponent learn a seal away lesson? No. Well, they could have like a negate. Yeah, we'll take 1. End of turn. Seal away. Okay, that's not a spirit though, right? So opponent has Rattle Chains, but it can't actually save Deputy because that's not a spirit. So we get back our Mana Dorks. And this allows us to Dromoka at least. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play the land. I think we actually attack with Paradise Druid. We're okay with this trade happening if it does. Opponent takes it. Well, Dromoka time. Pass the turn. No Nibblegeist, please. Also, no second Deputy of Detention. Opponent, 3 cards in hand. What might they be? Combat. Collected Company. If they're going to collect a company, they got to main phase it because of Dromoka. Wow, alright. Well, that's more lands. And now I guess we start attacking with everything? It's our turn, so our opponent cannot cast spells. Go to combat. Swing with the crew. I guess we maybe have been a little lucky to draw Dromoka every game. Our one of. Get in. Wow, opponent takes it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Opponent's down to 7. We're up to 24. Opponent adapts. Maybe our opponent's just flooding. Well, we haven't Dubious Challenge, but Jermilka Ramp, and opponent scoops it up. Okay. Well, that was a strange game. That was a very strange game. What would we have drawn? Land. Ooh, See the Unwritten. So See the Unwritten, that goes 8 cards deep. Let's see what we would have. 1, 2, oh, Void Winner. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Void Winner or Mana Dork, still not bad for 6 mana. Well, that was interesting. We definitely benefited from playing weird cards that our opponent had probably never played against before, but a win's a win against one of the top decks in the Pioneer format. Yeah, alright, sweet. Alright, budget magic time. We are Dubious challenging our opponents in Pioneer, and I mean, this ends fine. We got a Dubious challenge. We got a land and where to get to it. Blooming Marsh for our opponent. Aww, well, now we don't have something. See what our opponent takes. Maybe they will underestimate the power of Dubious Challenge. Alright, takes the elf. Well, that's going to slow down our Dubious Challenge, although we do have about a million mana dorks, 12 mana dorks in the deck, so we might draw into another one. Opponent. That would be our best draw for next turn. Just another mana dork to get to Dubious Challenge a turn early. 4 is for our opponent. Satyr Wayfinder. Alright, so it's a Sultai Uro deck, I assume. Yeah. Gets a land, mills some stuff. Mana dork. See the Unwritten. Alright, so slower than we were hoping for sure. Thanks to that Thoughtseize. Opponent untaps. Combat hits us 19. I mean, we still get to hopefully Dubious Challenge on turn 4, and eventually we can just start casting See the Unwrittens. If Dubious Challenge is not enough, opponent Lovestruck Beast. Oh, Elvish Mystic, come on now. You would have been so good last turn, and now you're so medium. Well, pass the turn. I guess Mystic's still fine, because it gets us to... Oh, come on now. Thoughtseize number 3 in the tippy top of the deck. Ugh. That's brutal. Mystic. Waiting a turn too late takes the Dubious Challenge. Well, we'll see. Now we need more mana to get to See the Unwritten. Or to draw another Dubious Challenge. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. No blocks. Down to 14. And we draw... Well, alright. Temple of Plenty. Tapped. Charming Prince. Bottom. Go. Alright, well, I mean, if we live... If this Mystic lives, we get to try to See the Unwritten next turn. Opponent. Combat. Hits us down to 9. We take it. And our opponent's running out of Thoughtseizes, so... Scavenging Ooze. And opponent passes. Alright, well, Fortified Village. Reveal the Forest. And See the Unwritten Part 1. Be good to us deck. Alright, Worldspine Wurm is good. Pass the turn. And that makes next See the Unwritten ferocious. And even though our opponent double Thoughtseizes us and took our Dubious Challenge, we still might just be fine. I imagine if our opponent can kill this, it's going to be actually killing it, which means we get a bunch of 5/5, so... Boy, the second one is going to be so good if our opponent doesn't draw another Thoughtseize. They shouldn't. They only have one left in their deck. Grapple with the past, going to mill some stuff. Well, and get back land or Emrakul, although it's probably got to be land. Emrakul is a long ways away still. Opponent's only got 3 lands at the moment. Yeah, it takes Fabled Passage. No Thoughtseize. And opponent scoops it up? Okay. Thoughtseize, sure, whatever. Eventually the Worldspine Wurm comes in, ends our opponent's hopes and dreams. That went pretty well. Do we want to even change anything? I think we're actually, like, kind of pretty well set up for this matchup. Rexage, no. We could bring in random removal. I don't know if it's necessary. Gideon's Intervention, probably not necessary. Soul Guided Lantern or Soul Guide Lantern could be fine. Or we could just try to do what we were doing there. I guess we go down Dramoka. Dramoka just dies. All right, let's go down Dramoka and one Paradise Druid. Bring in 2 Soul Guide Lanterns. And run it like that. Dramoka is either... So Dramoka's funny. It's good against aggro, since it's big and lifelinking and like red decks can't kill it easily. It's good against control because it makes our stuff essentially uncounterable. The one place it's not great is just random mid-range decks that have hard removals. So this is probably the worst matchup for, or one of the worst matchups for Dramoka. Soul Guide Lantern seems fine. I mean, opponent does have graveyard stuff. If we keep the graveyard empty, our opponent can't easily Emrakul us, which is good. Alright, sure, I guess. No Dubious challenge, but we do have a Tristani and a Seethia Unwritten. Fortified Village, Untapped, and Leyland Warehouse. And I mean, we always draw into a Dubious challenge. Almost better to not have it in hand to some extent, since Thoughtseize is a thing that our opponent's apparently playing plenty of. Force for our opponent. And Satyr Wayfinder, gonna start stocking the graveyard. Alright, Mills 2 Trackers gets a land. Well, I'm glad our opponent's not drawing cards with Tireless Tracker. Temple of Plenty. Show us Dubious Challenge. Definitely don't want Fortified Village. Goo. Well, Dubious Challenge off the top would be great. That could just win us the game. Otherwise, we're slowly working towards Seethia Unwritten. About it. Lost Legacy. Alright. That's not actually going to take our Worldspine Wurm. Interesting. Takes our Worldspine Wurm, gets a look in our hand. So this weakens our Dubious Challenges and Seethia Unwrittens, but it doesn't actually stop them. We still have Void Winnower that we can hit. And we can still just go Trostani Beads. It's not great, though. Like, losing our Worldspine Wurms, definitely not great. Kind of surprised our opponent brought this in. Maybe it is good against us. Alright, we draw more Land Wars off of the Lost Legacy. Opponent. It's in, sure. Down to 19. I guess we have Zakamas, too. So we still have some good hits. Well, play the land. Play Llanowar Elves. Go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent down to 19. Yeah, I don't know if our opponent can easily beat Zakama, honestly. If we can hit it off Seethia Unwritten. They definitely can't beat Worldspine Wurm easily. Opponent. Fatal Pushes an Elf. Alright, so that does slow down our Seethia Unwritten. Overgrown Tomb untapped. And just casts a Murderous Rider, sure. Gets and hits us. Huh. I'm kind of surprised our opponent didn't hold on to that. Well, play the Forest. Play Atrostani. Pass the turn. About it. Yeah, I do wish we had Worldspine Wurm still. Traverse can get anything. Alright, what are you going for about it? So in a dream world, we just see the Unwritten Zakama, and that would be wonderful. Tireless Tracker seems good for our opponent. There's still a ways off of Emrakul's. And we'll see. We'll see what they grab. I don't know how many trackers they have. They milled 2. Maybe they don't. Maybe they only have 2. Maybe they don't have any more left. Thankfully, you can't traverse for a Thoughtseize, so... Losing Worldspine Wurm, though, does mean that our deck is kind of mana heavy. Ooh, Liliana Heretical Healer. Interesting. Alright. Sure. Oh, no. And a Thoughtseize? Opponent. Passes. Well, spin it to win it. Spin it to win it. Let's see a Zakama, please. Okay, Zakama, that works. And pass the turn. All right, opponent, can you beat a Zakama? My guess is it's not going to be easy for our opponent. We'll see. A Wrath doesn't do it. I'm not sure how they beat Zakama, honestly. Is this just game through the Lost Legacy? Okay, Fatal pushes to flip Liliana. So they can, like, reanimate a Tireless Tracker, maybe? Alright, takes up. Well, we'll discard a Plains. Opponent discards a land. And opponent's out of... Oh, this is just game, right? I mean, I don't think it's game this turn, but... Yeah, opponent scoops it up! Wow, through the Disruption and Dubious Challenge! This deck actually has a lot of power for... for being a $100 deck, like, just playing fast Zakamas and Worldspine Wurms is surprisingly effective without getting inverted. Like, if you dodge the inverter decks, and possibly even guest inverter decks, like a turn 3 Worldspine Wurm, there's a chance it's even good enough in a world of inverter, but thankfully, thankfully no inverters today, so, alright. Yeah, sweet. Alright. Budget magic time. We are Dubious challenging in Pioneer, and this hand looks reasonable. Hollowed Fountain, tapped. I am not... drawing Worldspine Wurm isn't ideal. Well, we'll keep See the Unwritten. We are going to have the mana for it. Oh, Darksteel Citadel, alright. So this is not just straight up control and Soul Artifact. Interesting. Well, our opponent could definitely still have counters, unfortunately. Paradise Druid, go. Well, we'll see, opponent. What is going on, Tapland? If they counter this Dubious challenge, I'm going to be very disappointed. Opponent gets in. Well, Fortified Village, Reveal the Forest, Dubious challenge, target you. Please no janky, stubborn denial counter spells. Alright, we will take... Ooh. I think we go Void Winnower. Void Winnower, Charming Prince. And that might be game. That's turn 3 Dubious challenge. We could have taken Zatalpa, which would also be good. I feel like Void Winnower is going to shut down a big chunk of our opponent's deck. Wow, opponent just gives up. All right, we will scry 2. What you got, opponent? Hopefully it's odd. So Void Winnower, opponent can't cast spells with even converted mana cost, including zeros. 0 is even. They make sure to point that out because, I mean, I assume people would understand that, but... And then you can't block with creatures with even converted mana cost. So this can still attack, but it can no longer block. And our opponent can't cast Shrapnel Blasts. They can't cast In-Soul Artifacts. Brazen Borrower Bounce. I don't know what else. This is an interesting, like, 4-color In-Soul Artifact deck. Wait, did we just scare our opponent away? Are they just completely done? Not coming back? I mean, that's what this deck can do. The deck has power level. The deck is powerful. Like, turn 3, Dubious Challenge, Worldspine Wurms, Void Winnowers, etc. Like, that's good enough to beat a lot of decks. Land, 1, 2, 3. I do not think we want either. So our opponent is not completely scared away. I'll pass the turn. Wow, this game might be crazy because if nothing goes horribly wrong, we get to Dubious Challenge again next turn, and then See the Unwritten the turn after that. We are going to have a board full of really big things, theoretically. Gonna beat the turn 2 and Soul Artifact on Darksteel Citadel? Maybe? What could our opponent have? Like random unsummon style bounce, I guess, would be annoying. Void Winnower. Oh, Void Winnower is sweet. Opponent. I mean, they could have taken the Charming Prince. They probably should have taken the Charm. They definitely should have taken it. But we still would have ended up with the Void Winnower. So we win no matter what with Charming Prince plus Finisher. Like, we end up with the Finisher no matter what. But our opponent could have had a 2-2 and gained some life or scried or something. If you play against the deck, keep that in mind. Like, you can get a little bit of advantage by choosing the right thing. But people are just... I guess it's that no one plays against Dubious Challenge, because no one plays Dubious Challenge. So the odds of opponent actually playing it properly are really low. At least in our experience. A lot of people just pick it completely wrong. Caves of Koilos. Opponent. If opponent attacks, we're going to block with Charming Prince. Don't really want to risk this Void Winnower. I don't like double shock or something, double Wild Slash. Or who knows? Something I'm not even thinking of. And opponent! They thought about it for a while, eventually decided that they just could not beat the Void Winnower. Alright, even. We get to bring in 2 Rex Ages, and probably seal away Blessed Alliances. That's a lot of cards to bring in. What do we go down is the question. Alright, so we have, for Dubious Challenge to work, we have technically 9 finishers. These can't come out. I mean, we can trim down to 8. We can, like, trim 1, but we can't really cut them out. We need Trostani Charming Prince is enablers. It's actually hard to sideboard too much. We have Dubious Challenge itself. Goes in this pile. See the Unwritten, we could trim. Like, maybe go down 2 See the Unwrittens. 1 Worldspine Wurm. Maybe we don't go Blessed Alliances. Yeah, alright, no Blessed Alliance. Down a couple Paradise Druids. And, alright, 1 more Paradise Druid. Run it like that. Trim into the ramp a bit. Keep the fast ramp in Mystic and Llanowar Elves. Well, that went about as good as a game can go with our deck. Okay. I mean, we'll keep this. This is more of a... It's more of a turn 4 Dubious Challenge at the moment, but opponent, Blood Grip, Adept. Hope of Kurapur. Well, Forest go. A Mana Dork for next turn would be great, just to get us to Dubious Challenge a turn earlier. Opponent hits us with the Hope of Kurapur, down to 19. And light up the stage. All that glitters. Well, okay. That is scary. Ginger Brew. Well, play a land. Charming Prince. Scry. Void Winnower bottom. I think we actually go Elvish Mystic bottom too. Pass the turn. Something's going to get big, which is not good. This All That Glitters is a problem. And we have 2 Worldspine Wurms in hand, which is not ideal. That's I guess, the downside of our deck. Gonna need to hit some removal. So opponent's got to play this All That Glitters, or they lose it. Yeah, All That Glitters. So, it's a lot of damage. Shadow Spear. Good golly. Opponent gets in, hits us. Rex Age would be the dream draw. Forest. Okay, pass the turn. This is fine. No worries. We're good. We're very, very not good at the moment. Opponent beating us down brutally with this All That Glitters. Boy, opponent's got a ambitious mana base, I would say. Yeah, I guess we probably do have to play Blessed Alliance. This is just slow for our deck. Opponent. Well, we'll see if Dubious Challenge even resolves. What is this deck doing? Painful Druids draws down to 12. Opponent is doing things. Gets in, hits us, gets in. Alright, Dubious Challenge. Oh, you are going to have to save our day. Down to 8. Well, Plains. Dubious Challenge. Oh dear. We got a lot of finishers in hand. That is a whiff. And, yeah, alright. Yeah. Well, that was a little rough. Thankfully, we're on the play for Game 3, and our opponent hopefully won't have as great of a hand as they had that game. All right, we're gonna go down the Paradise Druid for Blessed Alliance. True, we're gonna like that. It would be nice to hit a removal spell. We have removal spells that are good answers for what our opponent's doing. The Seal Away seem great against the load a thing up with Enchantment's plan, but all right, we get to play first. Alright, we're going to keep this. Not great because we have a bunch of big stuff in hand, but Rex Age is very appealing. It is unlikely we ever cast these, which in turn weakens our... Well, it's Dubious Challenge. Alright, well that helps. It does weaken our Dubious Challenges. Forest to the bottom. Pass the turn. Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. Ginger Brute. And Ginger Brew. Well, okay. Oh, fingers crossed for some good running. Opponent gets in, hits us, no blocks. Land. Dubious Challenge. Alright, deck. Be good. Well, that works. Trostani Dramoka. Whew! Okay, only 2 creatures in that entire pile. Opponent should take Trostani, and then they at least get 2 tokens out of the deal. But we're going to end up with Dramoka and the Trostani pumping our team. So I think we're going to be okay here. I mean, Dramoka by itself is just absurd. It's so incredibly good here. And we even have the Rex Sage left over in hand. Opponent thinking hard about how to actually execute this plan. What do you do, opponent? Challenge is on you. Well, that was not the most insane Dubious challenge, but we came very close to whiffing there. That was a little bit frightening that we only hit 2 cards. Hopefully we draw... I guess we kind of do want lands now. So opponent does realize that Trostani is the correct call. They get the tokens. However, we get Trostani next turn. This does let our opponent attack once. I mean, I guess if they can like deal with this Dramoka somehow, it's really bad for us. Darksteel Citadel. Ensoul Artifact. Opponent combat. Big attack. We will just block Ginger Brute. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, block Ginger Brute. Stay at 9. Goes Fireblade, sure. But now we get Trostani to pump our dorks. We get a land. We Rex Sage to kill the Hopagurper. Go to combat. Attack. Gain 6. Back up to 15 past the turn. Potent. Well, hopefully this Dramoka just wins the race. Hollowed Fountain. Untapped. Okay. Oh, is that opponent scooping it up? Huh? What is going on? All right. And Soul Artifact, sure. And goes Fireblade. All right. I mean, that's not bad for our opponent. Makes it unblockable. Hits us. We go to 8. We untap. Land. Go to combat. Swing. Opponent. Boy, if we die, does all that glitters do it? I hope it does. It shouldn't. Opponent blocks. Goes to 6. Trostani number 2. Keep the new one. Pass the turn. Up to 14. And, I mean, Dramoka's lethal. And Poe scoops it up. Whoo! All right. That's what the deck can do. That's what the deck can do. That is the power of of Dubious challenge. That was pretty good. Yeah. All right. Sweet, sweet. All right. Budget magic time. We are Dubious challenging in Pioneer, and all right. I mean, this is fine. A little awkward that we have 2 Charming Princes in hand, just because that limits the number of Dubious challenge hits we have, but we can play them to scry or gain life, depending on the matchup, and then go from there. And we do have the challenge for turn 4, and if we draw Mana Dork, turn 3, there's just a higher risk of us whiffing with 2 Charming Princes out of our deck, but that's part of what makes it so dubious. Is our opponent skipping their first turn? All right, plays a Forest and Mana Dork. No Mana Dork, all right. Well, Temple of Plenty. Scry for a Mana Dork. I think if it's not a Mana Dork, we put it to the bottom. Just like, basically no matter what. Trostani. Oh, that's another Dubious challenge hit that we're not going to hit with this Dubious challenge. Oh dear, the math is getting worse and worse and worse. 2 princes in hand and Trostani at the bottom. That only leaves 5 hits left. That's not a super high number. Still, like, there's always a chance. You never know. But it's not super encouraging. Opponent's playing some sort of energy deck. Booted. Voltaic Brawler. So probably Pummeler. Pummeler, I presume. And, ooh, alright, there's a Mana Dork. Well, this means we're going to get to spin it to win it. The question is, will we actually win it? With so many of our enablers not in our deck. We'll see. Well, I mean, turn 3 Dubious challenge. That's what our deck's tried to do. And we're going to do it. Fingers crossed that it actually works out. Potent. Thinking. Hitting us. Yeah. We will take it. I mean, I think if we can get a Worldspine Wurm, I'm not sure how our opponent's deck is going to beat that, honestly. That is true of many decks in the Pioneer format. Many decks just do not do well with a 15-15 trample on turn 3 or 4. Opponent heads us for sure down to 16. And Long Tusk Cub. We draw planes. Well, we could play 2 Charming Princes. I mean, we're just going to go for it. We're going to go. This is what we came here to do. Trust the magic gods. Take the Dubious challenge. Okay, that works. Sort of. Alright, Dramoka Tristani. Oh, well, that really works. Boy, the punt level on Dubious challenge is super high. It is just off the charts. Roughly, like, half of opponents just punt against this card, which maybe that's the biggest reason to play it. Like, normally it's supposed to be you get one thing, your opponent gets one thing, and we try to break the symmetry. But a reasonable amount of time is just you get 2 things because opponents just don't understand what the card is doing. Fridge upsides of confusing it's Dubious for opponents, too. Oh, the rate of that happening is so high. Well, this is going to set us up for a pretty sweet See the Unwritten if our opponent does not concede, which they very well might. Like, how does our opponent beat a Dramoka? Opponent. Yeah, keep on brawling. Untap, play a land, go to combat, do some swinging, gain a bunch of life, and I guess we just Charming Prince Trostani? Make a couple more tutus? I mean, really, no matter what our opponent picked, they were going to be in rough shape, but if they had taken Trostani, they would have gotten the tokens, and then we would have got Trostani back on their end step, so they would have gotten a couple of tokens out of the deal. I still don't think it would have won our opponent the game from this scenario. So opponent's going to block and pump Long Tub. We're fine with this. They're going to spend their last 2 energy, which means no Ether Hub at the moment, which means only green mana. Opponent blocks and blocks. Sure. We're going to gain 10, which puts us pretty far out of the danger zone, I think. Is our opponent spending the energy? They probably have to, right? Yeah, alright. Pumps the Cub. We gain a bunch of life. Well, play Charming Prince. Exile Trostani. Play Paradise Druid. Pass the turn. And boy, we get to see the Unwritten next turn, and that could be really good. Opponent untaps. This is assuming our opponent doesn't scoop. They're just, like, so far behind. Opponent goes to combat. Oh, this feels like a concession incoming before we get to see the Unwritten. Sometimes all you need is a Dubious challenge. And we didn't even get our best finisher. We just got a Dramoka, which, I mean, Dramoka's good, but it's not our scariest thing. It's actually, like, our 4th scariest thing. I think Zatalpa, Worldspine Wurms, and Void Winnower are probably more frightening than Dramoka. Build it. No attacks. Seems wise. And another Long Tusk Cub. Well, alright. Play the planes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Double Trouble. See the Unwritten. Ferocious is active. Okay. Yes. Good luck, opponent. That's Zatalpa and a Worldspine. This is that gets the concession. I think our board is that's turn 5. That's turn 5. Dramoka, Zatalpa, Trostani, Worldspine Wurm, 1,000,000 tokens and mana dorks. Look at the difference. Look at the difference in boards. All right, that was good. That was very good. All right, opponent is, I assume, pummeling us. Definitely some sort of energy style deck. So, Paradise Druid, See the Unwritten, 1 Worldspine Wurm, seal away. Run it like that. Have some way to answer a massive pummeler if it comes to that. Alright, opponent. What you got? Well, this hand's not going to do it. Yeah. No lands, no keep. 1 land, 1 keep. The old saying works again. We would like this Elvish Mystic to live. I mean, this hand's actually pretty good, assuming we get to cast it. Tap land, try to cast something. Opponent. Land? maybe? Like, we have our Dubious challenge. Well, alright. Elvish Mystic. Boy, land next turn would be really good. If we draw a land and can play both Mana Dorks, we're set up to turn 3 Dubious challenge. With most of our good stuff in the deck, if Mystic dies, then things get much slower. With us missing our second land. Alright, Voltaic Brawler, sure. Come on, land. Well, alright, Llanowar Elves. We were doing this the really hard way. Elvish Mystic. This also means our deck is going to have many lands in it when we do Dubious challenge. Boy, imagine our opponent having a Chain Whirler. I guess they don't have the triple red, but something like Chain Whirler would, wow, that would just put us out of this game altogether. Boat it. Please don't kill our Mana Dorks. We would like to Dubious challenge. Attune with Ether to get a land, sure, and some energies. Grabs a mountain. Plays the mountain. Ooh. A nice Nyx mountain. Combat. Hits us. Sure. We will take it. Down to 16. And Brawler. Alright. Dubious challenge. Please be good. We need something big. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dubious challenge. Target you. Come on, deck. Okay, that works. We will take... I mean, I guess it's just Worldspine Wurm, right? Worldspine is better than Zetalpa. They're both good. Worldspine, yeah. Alright, we'll take Worldspine Wurm and Charming Prince. Alright, opponent gives us both. Well, we will scry 2 then. Yeah, our opponent still has not figured out how to take the Dubious challenge. they're failing it consistently. Both to the bottom. We would really like to just hit an untap land. Untap land means we get to see the Unwritten, and well, I mean that's turn 3. Look at our board. This deck is actually busted. I mean, it does help that our opponent is not choosing that wisely with Dubious challenge, but we'd still have the 50. Like, the best case for our opponent is they get the Charming Prince out of the deal, which is not that good of a case. Like, we still have the 15-50 trample. It makes 15 power when it dies, of trampling power when it dies. Well, best case, we get to see the Unwritten and win. Worst case, we play Trostani, which is still good. Yeah, this deck actually seems like pretty good. All right, opponent. What do you say? Ooh, going to get frisky, eh? Going to brawl with the 15-15. That is okay. I appreciate your gumption, Voltaic Brawler. Surely this will go fine. The guy with the thing on its arm gonna take on the big spiky worm. Okay. Alright. Well, let's see how this works out for you, Voltaic Brawler. We will block with our 15-15. And, yeah. How's this gonna work out? Maybe our opponent's just giving up. Maybe they have some infinite number of pump spells. But even if they, like, pump spell through our Worldspine Wurm, we get a bunch of 5/5 tramples, so it doesn't even really help them. That seems like an ambitious brawl. The opponent, yeah. Maybe they didn't realize that Worldspine Wurm can block. Oh, come on, land. Come on, land for the rub-ins. For the See the Unwritten, hit more big things, rub it in plan. Opponent. Anger of the Gods, okay. Well, you left us with just... Well, that does mean we're not going to be casting anything. Good news is, I don't think we need to cast anything because we got a 15-15. That does make our opponent's attack make a little bit more sense. If they knew they were wrathing the board. I just don't know what this does for them because of Worldspine Wurm. Like, what good is getting rid of all of our Mana Dorks? The problem is the worm for our opponent. Boy, that worm is huge. Those are like houses. Also very spiky. Yeah, I guess I would not want to brawl with that. Opponent, other plans. Why not attack with both, though? Like, if you're gonna... I'm so confused by that turn. If you're gonna Wrath, why not attack with both? And if you're... I don't know what's going on. I don't know, but I know we got a Worldspine Wurm. And that should be lethal. The number of opponents that have punted against Dubious Challenge is ridiculous. Well, smash ya. Opponent said, my second game of Magic Online and I face Saffron Olive. WTF. All right, opponent. What's your plan? What's your plan for the 15-15 trample that came down on turn 3? Boy, this deck's sweet. This deck actually feels really good. This might actually just be like a legit deck that no one has tried yet. And we're playing at a $100 budget. Could you imagine? We could have like better mana. We could customize our threats a little bit better. I mean, I think the budget version is still really solid, but like it could even be improved more. But we're just like kind of crushing people. All right, 50-50 trample. Worldspine Wurm is definitely the Emrakul. The Emrakul of the Pioneer format. Well, Worldspine, you're gonna do its thing. And opponent, we did a little bit of chatting, welcoming our opponent to Moto, and yeah, Worldspine, getting the job done. All right. Deck's busted. Deck's busted. Sweet. All right. Budget magic time. We are mulliganing with Dubious challenge in Pioneer, and well, we'll keep this. We don't have a Dubious challenge, but we can put a Trostani to the bottom, and worst case we can ramp into the Trostani, I guess, until we find something better. Like Dork, turn 3 Trostani, that's something. See what our opponent's up to. And then we're definitely drawing live to Dubious challenges. Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Thoughtseize. Alright, there goes Trostani. I assume. Yeah, Trostani down. Well, play the forest. Run out a Paradise Druid. Come on, Dubious challenge. Hit our opponent down to 50. Yeah, hand's a lot worse without the Trostani. Castle Garenbrig. Hardened Scales. Ew. Oh boy, Hardened Scales. Come on, Dubious challenge. Well, we will play a Paradise Druid. Play a land, go to combat, and I think we're attacking with both. Like, we get pretty wrecked by a Walking Ballista here, but not a whole lot we can do about that with 2 Hardened Scales out. Llanowar Waste. And, alright, Voracious Hydra. Is it getting big, or is it killing a... Alright, getting big. Alright, we need one of our big draws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can cast basically anything, including Llanowar Elf. Alright, pass the turn. Where's the top half of our deck? We're going to need it pretty soon because this Voracious Hydra is massive and trampling. Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Hardened Scales number 3. Scalestron assembled. Well, now I'm not... Hangerback Walker. Well, now I'm not even sure. We need Void Winnower. That's probably our best hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Oh, all right. Yeah. Sure. Well, that was awkward. We just never hit anything big. We mulliganed, and then we got our Trostani hit by discard. Oh my god, lands for days. And we just never drew the top end of our deck, unfortunately. Okay. Hardened Scales. We can bring in Rex Sages, I guess. Seal Away is kind of hit or miss. What about Gideon's Intervention? Is it worth it? It might be too slow. Actually, maybe that might be our best bet. That might be better than Rex Sage. Maybe we just go all Gideon's Interventions. And let's try it and see what happens. We'll go down 2 Paradise Druids, 1 Worldspine Wurm, and 1 See the Unwritten. All right. Well, Gideon's Intervention does shut down like Walking Ballista and other big things. And we can cast it pretty quickly. Oh, that last hand was set up for a Dubious challenge if we drew it, or See the Unwritten. We drew all this part of our deck, I guess minus the discarded Trostani, and none of, this part, the 4 plus. Well, we get to play first. Alright, this will keep. I mean, Thoughtseize is annoying because it can take our Dubious challenge, but if it doesn't, we get to spin it to win it on turn 3. Land and Llanowar Elves go. Blooming Marsh, no Thoughtseize. Alright, Llanowar Elves for our opponent. That's acceptable. Ooh, well, Elvish Mystic, Temple of Plenty, Scry. 1, 2, yeah, I guess we'll keep Temple of Plenty. No attacks. All right. No Thoughtseize. No Thoughtseize. Let us Dubious challenge. Spin the wheel for some happy good times. I mean, this is what our deck's trying to do. The upside of keeping the land is it does get us to see the Unwritten. So if things go wrong, worst case, we can play the tap land. Next turn, try to see the Unwritten. What can go really wrong here? One elf dying is fine. I guess Thoughtseize is still the worst. We just really want to be able to cast this Dubious challenge and hope for the best. Blooming Marsh. All right. So everything dies. Well, Temple of Plenty, Scry. Yeah, let's keep the forest. No Thoughtseize! Just let us cast a dang Dubious challenge about it. Just one time. Just one time, let us cast it. Nothing bad will happen. Land where else. And Orion. Okay, well, we get a chance. We get a chance for the Dubious challenge. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. We need some good luck. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Okay, so I guess we just go Worldspine Wurm and Charming Prince. So opponent should just take Charming Prince and Scry, whatever. The question's going to be, can they beat a Worldspine Wurm? Either way, we're going to end up with this Worldspine Wurm. If they take Charming Prince, they get to Scry or gain life. If they take Worldspine Wurm, we just get to flicker our Worldspine Wurm with Charming Prince. Well, that's the hit. That is the hits we want with Dubious Challenge. I mean, turn 4 Worldspine Wurm's not bad. We could have had, like, turn 3 if it wasn't for the removal. All right, opponent plays it, I think, the wrong way. Yoink. So we get both out of the deal. It is a card that people mess up pretty consistently, because it's just not a card you play against. And it's not a huge deal. Like, our opponent would have had a 2-2, which I'm sure would be helpful, but pass the turn. All right, opponent, can you beat a Worldspine Wurm? Nice thing about Worldspine Wurm is even if our opponent has, like, Murderous Rider or something, it makes a big tokens. And boy, we're a land away now from See the Unwritten for who knows what crazy things we'll end up with. Opponent. Thoughtseize. Well, there goes See the Unwritten, I assume. Zatalpa, not very castable, so you might as well take the thing that we might actually be able to cast at some point. Wow. All right, opponent just cannot beat the Wurm. So opponent takes a peek, sees what we're doing, and scoops it up. All right, that went well. That went well. Are we maintaining this sideboard plan? Let's go down 2 interventions and up 2 seal-aways on the draw. We have Dubious Challenge, but no ramp. I think we got a mulligan. All right, this is better. Trostani to the bottom. Well, now we hope to dodge Thoughtseizes. Boat it. Hardened Scales. Forest and Later Elves. Go. Also, Walking Ballista would be pretty obnoxious. Overgrown Tomb untapped. Winding Constrictor. Alright, so opponent stuff is going to get big once they get to it. Fortified Village to the bottom. Well, I mean, if nothing goes horribly wrong, we get to spin it to win it. But our opponent might be setting up for a Ballista here, which would be bad. Or the Hydra. Alright, yeah, that slows us down a lot. Yeah. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 18. Well, alright, play Paradise Druid. Temple of Plenty, Scry, Mystic. I think we keep Mystic. So in a perfect world, we can Dubious Challenge Mystic next turn and then See the Unwritten the following turn. We'll see if our world is as perfect as we hope. Thoughtseize is still really obnoxious. Opponent gets in, hits us. We take it. Down to 13. No Thoughtseize, please. Golgari Charm. Llanowar Elves. Well, spin it to win it. Be good to us, Dubious Challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no. Oh, no big thing. Well, elf. Yeah, we are probably in trouble now. Oh. That's unfortunate that we just did not have a big thing in our top 10. Ugh, mathematically, that's a little unlucky. Well, if we draw land, we get to see the Unwritten, which could still save us. Not fully powered, but still decent. Bone it. Gets in, gets in. And we'll see what our opponent's last card is. We're getting low on life. Dropping to 8. 7. 6. Yeah. Yeah. We'll take it. We need to untap land. Hanger back. All right. All right. Yeah. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Magic gods, unkind. Well, I mean, that did show what the deck can do. Oh, wow. We just had our... We just had a bad run with our Dubious challenge. Ouch. All right. Well, on to the next. So what did we learn this week about Dubious challenge in Modern? And the deck was surprisingly effective. We ended up going 4-1. We lost a 3-game match to Green Black Hardened Scales, which, I mean, they can play some big things pretty quickly. They do a lot of Hardened Scales. You can't win them all. But overall, the plan of just getting something huge on the battlefield on turn 3, on turn 4 was really effective. There are not a whole lot of decks that can interact with a Worldspine Wurm, a Zetalpa, whatever, coming down that early in the game. So I actually feel like this deck is surprisingly good for a budget deck, and it's got some sweet non-budget upgrades. Mostly the mana base. We won, I think, in spite of our somewhat clunky mana base rather than because of it, but Temple Gardens and so forth would be an easy improvement. Maybe we customize our finishers more. I think finisher-wise, the deck is kind of awkward in a very certain way, which is for the enablers, Charming Prince and Tristani, those are literally the only options in the Pioneer format. So we don't really have any flexibility there. We have to play all 8 of them. I would rather have like maybe 9 or 10 just to kind of guarantee that we're going to hit it. But we get by with 8, that's fine. Finishers, on the other hand, we have a lot of possibilities. In a non-budget build, you could be playing Ulamogs. We could also kind of customize Void Winnowers, Zetalpas, maybe another Dragonlord Demoka. So there's a lot of things you can do. I think that 4 Worldspine Wurm is the core of the deck, and that is the best thing our deck can do. Just get that on the battlefield on turn 3, on turn 4. Trust it is going to win us the game. There are some downsides. It can get like bounced by a Teferi or something, or unsummon, Brazen Borrower, certain decks that are playing that. But in general, most decks just are going to have a hard time dealing with Worldspine Wurm. And then Zetalpa covers the other things. Void Winnower can randomly host some decks, but I think that's where there's room to explore. Also, See the Unwritten is really sweet. The only thing I dislike about See the Unwritten is unless we've already cast a Dubious challenge, pretty unlikely that we're going to have Ferocious. We just don't have creatures that have 4 power. Even with Trostani pumping our creatures, they don't have 4 power unless we're getting up to like our 6, 8, 9, 11 drop type stuff. So that's kind of the downside, is we're mostly getting 1 creature unless we've already Dubious challenge. If we've already Dubious challenge, it's kind of win more. But the upside is it is another way to like get a Worldspine Wurm on turn 4, Zetalpa on turn 4. So it's good enough. I'm not sure if there's a way to turn on Ferocious easily that doesn't weaken the rest of the deck. I was thinking about you could play like Loxodon Smiter or some random 4/4 for 3, because we have all these 1-mana mana dorks, so you can accelerate to 3 really quickly. Maybe there's something we could play in the 3-drop slot that would work there. That could be worth considering. But overall, I think the deck's really powerful. The deck's surprisingly good. Worldspine Wurm, really effective. Dubious challenge, even with only 8 enablers, was pretty consistent. We had a couple of bad ones, but for the most part, we were getting what we needed. And best part of it is no one knows how to play around Dubious challenge. So half the time we just get both creatures because our opponent has no idea how the card works. So bonus points for playing a really confusing card that no one else plays. Sometimes you just get all the benefit from it. So anyway, that's my Dubious challenge. That's our budget magic for this week. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.